Inshallah, we'll start now. Alhamdulillah. Countless gratitude to Allah, the Lord of all the creations, that He has bestowed upon us this opportunity and ability to spend this time in His remembrance. Innumerable blessings and peace be upon our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of whom Allah's mercy is upon us. My dear and respected audience, Allah says in Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, kutiba alaykumus siyamu, kama kutiba alal ladzina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Ayyamam ma'dudatin, faman kana minkum maridan aw ala safarin fa'iddatun min ayyamin ukhra. Wa 'alal ladzina yutiqunahu fidyatun ta'amu miskinin, faman tatawwa'a khairan fahuwa khairul lahu wa an tasumu khairul lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. Those of you who believe, fasting is prescribed upon you, as it had been prescribed upon those before you, so that you be purified. Few and fixed days these are. So who of you are sick or are traveling? They can choose not to fast and make up for those fasts in later days. And those who cannot fast at later days, they are to feed the deserving person, and whoever goes beyond it, it is better for him or her. And if you fast, it is much better for you if you understand. On the 10th day of Shaban, on the second year of Hijrah, Allah revealed the verses prescribing the fasting upon the able-bodied Muslims. Before this time, the fasting was not mandatory, it was optional. 3 days a month, 13th, 14th, and 15th of the lunar calendar. Through these verses, Allah prescribed fasting in the month of Ramadan, supplanting those monthly fasts. Now those remain optional, but the prescription is for the month of Ramadan. Allah also made this fact known that fasting is not unique to the Muslims. It in fact had been the part of every Sharia before us. The oldest known religion that has the claim of being the oldest religion, the Hinduism, even they have the concept of fasting. And very surprisingly so, fasting in the middle of the lunar month, like it was before Islam. And while prescribing fasting on Muslims, Allah's limited mercy and wisdom did not leave those behind who, for one reason or another, find it hard to fast or cannot fast. Like reasonably, they cannot fast. Somebody is sick. Somebody is traveling. Somebody is tired. So those people, nursing mothers, those people who have serious physical or circumstantial limitations, Allah's mercy gave them a way to make up for the missed fast, to not kill themselves. Allah is not an oppressor. Allah is the most merciful. Allah wants us to reap the rewards. As somebody very intelligently put that Allah has no son or daughter for which He has to save anything. Whatever He has created, it is for us. All these blessings are for us. He wants us to have it all. So what Allah prescribed is that whoever misses a fast or more than one fast during the month of Ramadan because of a legitimate reason, not because I was watching movie all night last night and just slept early in the morning and now I cannot fast. I did not get to eat. Not because of that. Legitimate reason. They can make up for the fast on a later day, and if they cannot do that, they are to feed a needy person. So Islam, besides ibadah, worshipping Allah, there is rarely anything that Islam puts more stress on than taking care of those in need. It is not a social duty, it's a religious duty. So like many other ibadah or the acts of worship, if you fall short of it in Ramadan, you also make up for it by feeding a needy person. And if you want to feed more than one, many people, the more you do, the better it is for you. Now let me tell you that each and every one of us is extremely, extremely lucky and blessed that we are sitting here in the month of Ramadan. This is the best of the months. It's the only month that Allah named in Quran, Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi. No other month is mentioned in it. This month, the doors of heaven, the doors of paradise are open, all of them. The doors of hellfire are closed, all of them. The shaitan, his companions, from his own kind, they are all chained up, tied up. There is nobody, no external force forcing you to do wrong. Day and night, every moment, there is Allah's blessing that are showering upon us. The angels are calling, oh, who want to do a good deed, haste to it. Do it sooner. Oh, who is trying to do bad, stop from it. Don't do it. Everything is helping you to do good, to be good. We in our lifetime cannot imagine, cannot comprehend the blessings that this month brings us and how lucky we actually are to be in this month. Last first of Ramadan, I was in Pakistan. I prayed Taraweeh behind an Imam, a Hafiz. He passed away a month before this Ramadan. There is no other time of year that Rasulullah ﷺ used to entice more his companions to do good than Ramadan. He started it in Shaban. People, a month is coming. Be ready for it. It's a guest. As Allah said, Ayyamam ma'dudat, very few days. It ends before it starts. Those 30 days, they are like the sand in our hand. One of them has already slipped our hand. We have already pretty much missed one day of Ramadan. I know I have. Hazrat Salman the Persian narrates that Rasulullah ﷺ addressed us on the last day of Shaban and said, "O people, coming to cover you is a month of grandeur, a month of lasting blessings that contains a night that is better than 1,000 months. This is the month in which Allah has prescribed the fasting and made the prayers of night as optional. Whoever seeks closeness to Allah in this month by performing an optional prayer or a nafil or an optional act of worship will get the reward as performing an obligatory act of worship or prayer in other months." So nafil ibadah of this month is equal to the fard ibadah of other months. And whoever performs an obligatory act of worship, a fard, be it a prayer or something else, in this month, that person will be rewarded as if she or he has performed 70 obligatory duties. Like if you performed one fard salah, one rak'ah, you get the reward as if you have performed 70 rak'ah of fard in any other time of the year other than Ramadan. This is a month of restraint, and the reward of restraint is paradise. Restraint from what? Restraint from anything that is bad. Restraint from complaining too much. Restraint from being ungrateful, unthankful, being mean, indulging in ourselves in the things that Allah does not want us to indulge into. Restraint from all those things. This is the month to take care of the poor. Rasulullah ﷺ is saying, this is the month to take care of the poor. Remember, feed one person, your reward get multiplied many times. It is the month in which the believers are increased in their sustenance. Your wealth increases. Everything that you need for sustenance increases in this month. Whoever provides for a fasting person to break his or her fast will get the same reward as the person keeping the fast, and that too without taking any reward from the fasting person. So if you give something to a person to break his or her fast, you get as much reward as that person gets without taking any reward from that person. That is how generous Allah is. And Hazrat Salman the Persian says that when we heard this, we said, "Ya Rasulullah, not all of us have the capability to feed a fasting person to his or her fill." Upon this, Rasulullah said, "Allah will reward everyone who provides even a sip of milk, or a single date, or a sip of water to the fasting person to break his or her fast. And whoever feeds a fasting person to his or her fill, Allah will feed that person. Allah will give a drink to that person from my pond, after which the person will never feel hungry or thirsty till that person enters the paradise." That's, of course, on the Day of Judgment. This is the month whose first part is Allah's blessing. Second is Allah's forgiveness. and the last is freedom from hellfire. Whoever will be lenient upon his or her slave during this month, because that person is fasting, Allah will forgive that person and will free him from the hellfire. So now this hadith covers a lot of things. First of all, that this month is a month of grandeur. Everything increases in this month. Every good deed gets reward multiple times than what you will get it from any other month. Like one fard namaz get you the same reward as 70 fard namaz, salat, in any other time of the year. I remember once calculating when I was young, that okay, if you do every namaz, every fard namaz in Ramadan, you pretty much are good for the year because you have done it more than like 350 times, you know. Of course, that was not sound logic, but yeah, it's that big of a deal. Like doing fard all year and doing fard only in Ramadan, they match up. Then the speciality, like the first 10 days are Allah's blessing. Whoever fasts in those days, does good deed, is showering in Allah's blessing. Second 10 days are Allah's maghfirah, forgiveness. And the last 9 or 10 days are freedom from hellfire. Now what is fasting? Fasting, technically we say, okay, we stop eating at the break of the dawn and we do not drink or eat or have any intimate relationship till the sunset. That is how we generally conceive fasting, which is true, but this is not the whole picture. Fasting means stopping ourselves from doing anything that Allah and His Rasul does not want us to do. If you do not control your tongue, if you do not control your eyes, if you do not control your hands, if you do not control your feet from committing sins, Allah is in no need of you being hungry or thirsty. He does not need it. The point is to train ourselves. Right now, Allah has taken all the external pressures off of us. There is no shaitan who is telling us to do anything bad. Remember, any bad that we do in Ramadan is purely our own doing. Whatever bad thought is coming to our heart and mind, it is originating from here. There is no shaitan to blame for it. Whatever bad thing we are going to commit in this month, that badness is coming from within. There is no shaitan to blame, no third party to blame. If we only look into that mirror, we can really see who we really are. We can see what filth resides in there. And that's a great amount of blessing, because if we see it, if we acknowledge it, we have 30 or 29 days to work on it and make ourselves a good person. We know what shortcomings do we have. It's just like before actually going to the exam, you take a makeup, like a fake exam, a test, practice exam. And it highlights your weaknesses. It tells you which areas do you need to focus on. And not only is that we are taking the practice test, we are also giving the optimal environment to make up for those shortcomings and be ready for the real thing. Whoever has gone to school can understand how big of a deal it is, how big of a favor this is. You can analyze yourself, you can correct yourself, and there is nobody stopping you from doing it. Then the crown jewel of this month is Laylatul Qadr, a night amongst the odd nights on the last 10 days of Ramadan, or last 9 days of Ramadan. Whoever stayed up in that night, prayed in that night, his reward will be as if that person prayed for 1,000 months continuously. And some ulama say that the word 1,000 is just to describe limitless. There is an expression in Arabic where you use the word 1,000 to describe something that is limitless as well. So there are two reasons. But even if it is 1,000 months, it is 84 or 83 years some days of continuous worship. That one night, and it's not equal to it. Allah says it's better than that. So again it goes back to the notion of infinity. Allah does not say that it's equal to it, it's better than that. And then this month, what a great month. It's the month to take care of the poor. How do you take care of the poor? There are many people who find it hard to make both ends meet, who can barely afford to eat more than once a day. When you fast, you know exactly what happens to them. You know exactly what poverty is, what deprivation is. You can feel their pain. And if there is a shred of humanity left in you, you will try to do something good for them. You will try to feed the hungry mouth. You will feel kindness towards them. You will feel thankful to Allah for giving you, for providing you everything without us having any qualification to warrant those blessings, to warrant those rewards that we use day in and day out. So this is the month that actually lets you feel the pain of the poor, associate with the poor. It's not only like those NGOs or all these people who so-called, they say, oh, we are working for the poor and the needy, and they have never tasted it. This month gives us the ability to actually be in those shoes and see how it is. And the beauty of fasting, the beauty of Ramadan is that you are doing something that nobody knows but you and Allah. When you do salah, people can see you. They know you are doing it. When you do pay zakat, people see you. They know you are doing it. When you do hajj, people see you. They know they are doing it. When you do jihad, people see you. They know you are doing it. But when you fast, nobody else knows if you are fasting or not. You can't be saying, oh, I'm fasting and drinking water in the privacy. Actually, Rasulullah ﷺ says that Allah says all of a person's good deeds will be increased from 10 to 700 times on the day of judgment. They will be increased from 10 to 700 times except for fast. Because Allah says, fast is for me and I will repay for it according to Allah's grandeur, however befits Allah. Allah did not put a number against the fast. Allah says, whoever is fasting, that person stopped himself or herself from eating, drinking, the intimate urges. That person stopped himself or herself from those things, and he or she did it only for me. So it's only befitting that I reward that person the way I seem fit, the way it fits my generosity. Rasulullah ﷺ said that a fasting person has two happinesses. One, while breaking the fast, when you are hungry and thirsty for all day, and that first sip of water, it is better than everything you can imagine. That first piece of meal in your mouth, it's like heaven. And the second of those happinesses would be when that person will meet his or her Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah ﷺ said that Allah loves the stench of a fasting mouth more than the smell of musk, pure musk. And then he went on saying that if someone says bad to a person who is fasting, or tries to enter into a fight with that person should tell him or her, I'm fasting, and walk away from there. Don't get into that fight. Don't reply back in the same tone, because you are fasting. Now, in another hadith, Rasulullah ﷺ said that whoever fasts the whole of Ramadan with true belief and pure heart, all of his or her previous sins are forgiven. And it is just fasting in Ramadan. Whoever worships Allah with true belief and pure heart in Ramadan, all of his or her previous sins are forgiven. And whoever worships Allah in Laylatul Qadr, that one night with true belief and pure heart, all of his or her previous sins are forgiven. Can you imagine the amount of bounty Allah is spreading every moment of this month? You fast those 29 days, everything is forgiven. You worship Allah with true belief. You do prayers and everything, all those acts. All your sins are forgiven. You stand one night, and that is the best part. You know how long Laylatul Qadr is going to be this year? How long that night is going to be? Any idea? It's about 9 hours. It's about 9 hours. It will start somewhere around 8:20 p.m. and it will end around 5 a.m. 9 hours, less than 9 hours. The amount of time we spend on our jobs, the amount of time we stay in the school, if you spend just those 8-9 hours doing nothing but praying to Allah, worshipping Allah, reading Quran, whatever good you can do, all your previous sins are forgiven. And not only that, you will get the reward that will be more than if you keep on praying, keep on doing good deeds for more than 84 years or 83 years or infinitum, whatever. Allah knows best. So how lucky we are that we are breathing in this month. How lucky we are that we got this month. We are in this month. Allah blessed us a lot. we cannot repay. We cannot repay for even a single moment. Rasulullah said that the paradise has 8 doors, one of which is called Bab al-Rayyan, and that door is dedicated only to the people who fast. So it's such a great deal that you have a dedicated door in paradise for you if you fast this month. And besides fasting, what are the good deeds? You don't have to be a millionaire to do good deeds. You smile at each other, that is a good deed. You help each other, that is a good deed. You be kind to each other, that is a good deed. That is the spirit of Ramadan. Person with a bad mouth and fasting day in and day out, now Allah doesn't need that person's hunger or thirst. Train yourself. Be kind to each other. Help each other. Do whatever you can. It is narrated that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam during the month of Ramadan, his generosity was like heavy rain. It was just making everybody wet. It was just flowing everywhere, right and left, up and down. He was generous, the most generous in the creation anyways, but during the month of Ramadan, it was like exponentially more than those other days. Try to do whatever good you can. Don't let any moment pass without you doing something good in it. We don't know if we will be lucky enough next year. And trust me, there is nothing better than this month. It is narrated that the paradise, the angels decorated from one Ramadan till the next for the people who will fast in the Ramadan. So once the month of Ramadan ends, they start decorating and then they keep on doing it for 11 months up until the doors of heavens are open on the first night of Ramadan. And then all those things, all those decorations, all those blessings, they are allotted, given, thrown away at the people who fast. And the ladies, be patient when I tell you that the hur and the hurs with the big eyes that Allah says in Quran, hurun ain. When they look at the person on the ground who is fasting and they walking and they say, "Oh Allah, make him my husband on the day of judgment. Wed me to him." So your stocks really go high when you fast in the month of Ramadan. I'm not over there. So everything we do in this month, every good deed, that's the best investment you can do. You have a dime that you can give to a poor person, give it to that person. That dime worth more than $7 per week. Actually 70 rupees, 700 times if you put it like that. So everything gets increased multifold. You have the chance to hand somebody the cup of water, don't wait for it. Do it. You can read one line of Quran, be by looking at it or just by heart. Just do it. Don't let any moment go wasted. Don't waste any moment. Be nice to your parents, those of us who have parents. Be nice and gentle and kind to your children, those of us who have children. Be helpful to your wives and your husbands, those of us who are married. And help each other out, whoever can, which I believe each of us can do that. And as I said, be nice to each other. Rasulullah ﷺ said that on the day of judgment, nothing will be heavier on the mizan, on the scale, than husn al-akhlaq. Good manners, kindness, generosity. Exhibit those during this month. And if we find ourselves doing something that we are not supposed to do, as I said earlier, be sure that all that evil is inside you. Work on it. Decide on one thing. Take this whole month, but decide on one thing that you will start in this month, one good thing. That you will start in this month and you will carry on till the rest of your life. However small. It does not have to be big. It does not have to be big. Don't go for the big. Pick up one small thing. Even if it is as small as saying Assalamu alaikum whenever you enter a room where you think there is somebody sitting. Even if it is that, make a habit of it. Practice it when you do not have any external pressure. And then stay with it for the rest of your days. Do not let this month pass with at least one gift for the lifetime. Now, it's not easy. Fasting, giving up stuff, giving up eating, drinking, everything else that we like, that we love, that we think we cannot live without. Music. People nowadays, they wake up and the first thing they do, they put those headphones in their ears so nothing good can enter in their mind, and it's the it thing, the in thing. So of course not something that Allah wants you to do, so it's hard to give it up. You can only give up anything, you can only let go of anything if you believe that whatever you are getting in return is worth it. And that belief can only come when you love Allah and His Rasul ﷺ more than everything. Because remember, you cannot see Allah. I once read a story that a person, it's a long time ago, I think I read it in Shahabnama, that a person converted in those days, 60s, 50s, to Islam, and the scribe, he asked him, why did you convert to Islam? And he said, I was in, probably it was Karachi. I was there and I had some stuff that need to be carried from one place to another, so I hired some laborers. It was the month of Ramadan, and they were sweaty and they were like really struggling to pick up the stuff. And amongst those laborers there was this thin old guy, and he was barely making it. I felt like he's gonna pass out now or in a moment or two. Like he was really struggling. So he said, I looked at him and my heart filled with empathy, and I called him into my quarters. And he was like all sweaty. And once he came in, I gave him a glass of water and I said, drink it. You'll feel better. And it was hot summer day, and that old guy, he shook his head in negative and he said this: I am not going to do it. He's watching. I'm fasting for him. And he said, when I slew, that changed my life. I said, so much faith, so much conscious of the omnipresence of the God, that there is nobody besides me and him in the room. He's struggling. It's a hot summer day. He's sweating. I'm giving him a cold cup of water and he's not taking it. Because whatever he is doing for Allah, in Allah alone. That's why Allah says, every act I will increase it from 10 to 700% except for fast, because fasting is for me and I will reward it the way I deem fit, the way it fits my generosity. It's not a small thing. It's not a small month. These are not just any other moments. These are the moments. Whatever moment of Ramadan has passed, we will not get to it till next 365 days. A little less, a little more, give or take. We would have to wait one whole year to actually be in that moment again. Don't let them pass. We don't know who of us is going to be here next year. And all that, the main thing in fasting, as I said, it's not only your thirst, it's not only your hunger, it's the condition of your heart. As Rasulullah ﷺ said time and again, whoever did this in Ramadan with true belief and pure heart. The purity of heart is fundamental. Focus on your heart. And how can you focus on your heart? How can we clean our hearts? We clean our hearts by remembering Allah all the time. And that remembrance of Allah, that is the sole purpose that we gather here. Inshallah, we will do that every Saturday of Ramadan, like we always do, inshallah. That we all gather and we spend these moments, these very, very precious moments, remembering Allah and asking Allah to help us cleanse our hearts so that we get the best reward of all the time, that we get Nisbat-e-Rasooli, we get the love of Rasulullah, we do what Rasulullah did, we do what Rasulullah wanted us to do, and do all that out of sheer love of Him. So with this focus, this intention, this prayer, let's all start. Say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.